Hey guys, welcome back to The Dose. Today I want to talk to you guys about study habits. A lot of you guys ask, how do I study? And just how do I manage all the work that I have to do? So before we get started, like, comment, and subscribe. Studying is so important. You definitely want to make sure that you're studying not too far out, but not too close to your exam. For me, if I try to study after every lecture, and just reread the lecture and try to memorize everything right then and there, I forget it a week later. What I do best is by studying maybe 3 to 4 days out from the exam. That way it's fresh in my mind. And one important thing that I do is I study the morning before. So I don't care if the exam's at 7 a.m., I don't care if it's at 8 a.m., I don't care what time it is, I'm studying at least an hour before the exam. Those are my tactics about studying and how far ahead you should start. But when you actually get down to business, these are the things you should do. Number 1, you have to make sure you summarize your lectures. Taking notes straight from the teacher's mouth or verbatim from the lecture is great. You want to make sure you actually do see the lecture, but you want to make it a study guide in your own words. So you want to take the lecture and you want to condense the material. So next is just repetition. So the more you see them, the more you recall it. You can't just memorize something. Maybe you can, maybe you're that type of student that you have a photographic memory and everything you see goes right there. But that's not me. That brings me to my next point. I speak out loud. So instead of just reading verbatim, try to think about the subject matter, and I make sure I at least read it out loud at least once. So all those lectures that are summarized, read through them once out loud. Because when you hear it, that's another way of learning. Next, I would say the 6-time rule. 6-time pass over all your notes, reading, speaking them out loud, but it has to happen at least 6 times. That's what works for me. So here's an example. This is how I take my notes. I do front and back summaries of all my lecture slides. In a table format works for me because that way I'm able to kind of follow the line in the category, and it's just, I don't know, it's easier. You can get a lot more on one page when you do a table. A lot of people love to use their laptops, their phones, and they can sit there and just look at a screen all day. I cannot. I need a physical paper if I need to highlight, if I need to take notes off to the side and re-summarize and re-summarize. The more you condense your material down to something that you understand, the better. So you're gonna do well if you print it out, staple it together, and actually look through it. And like I said, 6 times, don't forget. So for the more difficult material, I use YouTube, a place you can go for a lot of information, and usually there's videos that actually explain the process. Not only hearing it is important, but visualizing it is important as well. So you need to use and incorporate all the senses when you're studying, making sure that you're seeing it visually, drawing pictures out. Drawing also helps with memorizing. So those are my tips for studying. If you guys have any other comments or ways that you study, let me know. Leave a comment, definitely like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time on The Dose.